Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We have here Mr. Macron, the president of France. I always said that he is the most intelligent and able politician and diplomat that, let's say, the West has, and I'm not including Orban in the West, okay? Therefore he takes this spot. I'm talking about the monolithic West, the ones that fights against Russia 100%. And I think Macron is intelligent. I think Macron is very diplomatic. I think he is courageous at times. And the only thing that I would, how should I put it, point out that Mr. Macron, I think he was a weasel in one aspect, and that is when he was called by the Ukrainians, called out that, hey, Macron, you talk too much to Putin. Why do you have to talk to Putin? And he stopped talking to Putin. That for me it was like, what? What kind of forces are behind all this? Even if an, I don't know, unknown Ukrainian beyond, 5 months ago, nobody knew about them, can tell Macron, the president of mighty France, to shut the fuck up and stop talking to the Russians. And he did. For about 2 months, nothing, not a squeak. So I was like, wow, okay. I don't remember being Zelensky. I think it was something like Kuleba or some of these guys, not even, the president of Ukraine. Even though the president of Ukraine should mind its own business and don't call out other presidents, as he is not called out. Believe me, that's a lot of things that Zelensky could be called out on. So anyway, that was the only time when I was like, what's going on with you, Macron? Now, France and Germany are backstabbed, let's put it this way, by United States. Obviously, the Europe is in United States' pocket, militarily and economically and politically. I'm talking about the foreign policy. Unfortunately, now the Germans, and not unfortunately for the Americans, but I don't think that's gonna happen anything anyway. The French and the Germans are upset with the Inflation Reduction Act that Biden, implemented, or whatever is gonna put it at work in the United States, which is a very protectionistic piece of legislation or policy, and that would affect greatly the economies of Germany and France, given the fact that the energy in Europe right now skyrocketed, not right now, in the past 8 months, 10 months, since they were, how should I put it, advised by United States to stop buying cheap gas from Russia, which meant that they had to start buying expensive liquefied natural gas from other sources, mind you, United States one of them, and therefore cannot compete. The German industries or the French industries cannot compete, Jesus Christ, compete with the American ones. Therefore, there's a little bit of worry in Paris and in Berlin that major industries, like auto industries, will move to United States to take advantage of cheap gas, and the production obviously is going to be cheaper. The cost of production and certain kind of perks that this Inflation Reduction Act will prove to be. That's what they claim. Now, Macron met Scholz and they were very outraged about this. Well, it's kind of too late, buddy. Then Scholz, the Chancellor of Germany, and the French Foreign Minister, I can't remember her name, they signed a document that they will cooperate in energy and blah blah blah. Okay, well, I don't know. You are under the occupation of United States of America, United States. That's a fact. However you wanna, they have, and the Russians said that, but because it came from the Russians, oh no, they're just propaganda. Okay, tell me when Europe is gonna do something that would oppose United States. And in allies, when they're allies, sometimes an ally might have a different opinion than the other ones and make the other person do, okay, this is what I think is good. All right, you convince the other person, the ally. But it seems like always this guy is never convinced by the others. It's only this guy convinces everybody else, always. So that tells me this is not an alliance. This is my thing, and you guys are coming with me. Otherwise, I'm gonna, you know what that is, a little pigeon wing. If you saw pigeons fighting with the wings. Anyway, this article comes from Sputnik from today, the 1st of December 2022. And if you know, now you know, Mr. Macron is visiting the United States of America and will meet Biden and talk about this. I don't think anything will happen, but anyway, Macron shows some balls because he goes straight, comes to your turf, on your turf, and he calls you this and he calls you that. So he's not staying in Paris, and says, hey, you're like this, he did that. Now he traveled across the Atlantic, came into Zimbabwe, and now he's going to call the Zimbabwean boss, Biden, hey, you are a bitch. No, let's see. This is in quotation marks here. It will split the West. Macron lambasts Biden's Inflation Reduction Act. Well, I don't know what this is, but it's a very strange thing that I see here. You see this Macron? Look at this picture. I don't know. You see it's an APAC, and you see that little sign over there next to APAC. It looks like a little thing that reminds me of something. Huh? What do you think that is? Idiots. But that's a 2, okay? It's not 2 S's. But anyway, this is the picture these guys put with Macron, obviously, for us to... Oh, no, what the? That is that. The French president arrived in Washington earlier this week as Paris and other European capitals are worried about protectionist U.S. policies, since EU industry is taking a heavy toll from the self-imposed energy crisis. French President Emmanuel Macron has slammed U.S. policies subsidizing American companies under the Inflation Reduction Act, IRA, as, quote, choices that will split the West, hinting at trade tensions between Washington and Brussels. I would like to know, what are you going to do about it? Because it's always talking, are you going to do anything about it? And the other question is, can you do anything? Are you able to do anything? Or just, which one is it? According to several news agencies, the president said the U.S. decision was, quote-unquote, super aggressive for our business people, end quote. Previously, Macron addressed the issue in a rather straightforward fashion. Oh, I'm quoting. I don't want to become a market to sell American products because I have exactly the same products as you, he said earlier. And I'm quoting again. And the consequence of the IRA Inflationary Reduction Act is that you will perhaps fix your issue, but you will increase my problem, end quote. I'm sorry to be so straightforward. Wow. The IRA, criticized by French president, stipulates vast payments to manufacturers to produce their goods in North America and supports environmentally friendly industries, blah, blah, blah. I'm not gonna even read that bullshit. The EU fears that the act would force European manufacturers to relocate to US, so the bloc wants exemptions like those already granted to Canada and Mexico. So, that's favoritism here. But it's okay, that's free market. We're capitalists, the other ones are communist. Yeah. It's all like murky. When it works my way, I'm becoming creative. This is the word. We're creative. We bend, however. They are creative. We can't be creative. You know what, officer? I'm sorry for driving 10 miles over the speed limit, but I'm just creative now, okay? Don't infringe my creativity. It's gonna fucking arrest you as well if you are mouthy. So, the economic tensions across the Atlantic rose as the European economy was dealt a major blow after Brussels and Washington imposed sanctions on Russia following the launch of its special military operation. Obviously, this is Sputnik, so they have to overemphasize that, which, that's a factor. Obviously, United States told Europeans, you gotta stop buying gas over there. Nord Stream 1 done, Nord Stream 2 done. If you don't agree, we're gonna take care of it. And then in one way or another, remember what Biden said? One way or another, that's going to be it with Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2. And here we are. And we still don't know who blew it. But anyway, we have gut feelings because it takes so long. What, it's 2 months almost? 2 months. Almost 2 months. Ah, man. So, I'm continuing this little article. The sanctions hit already volatile energy markets, resulting in record high inflation and energy crisis in Europe, jeopardizing the bloc's industry. Moreover, the European nations had to boost purchases of Ukrainian liquefied natural gas. US liquefied natural gas, which is more expensive to import than Russian natural gas. The high price only deepened the US-Europe rift as Germany accused the US of asking astronomical prices for American LNG, thus profiteering from the situation in Ukraine. Yeah, remember when the Americans told the Germans, hey, stop buying from the Russians, they can blackmail you whenever they want. They created a situation, they blew up those things, they being, we don't know yet who's they, but anyway, some people, right? They created blah, 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 and now you depend on these guys. You depend, now you can be blackmailed by the United States of America, but it's okay, because we're the good guys, you know? So if you're raped by a bad guy, it's bad, but if you're raped by a good guy, so-called, it seems like it's not the same thing. It's unfucking believable. But hey, some people don't see through this. Some people say, yes, we help Europe. Yes, because Europe cannot make it on its own. Those weasels, again, we have to save them. Another Marshall Plan for those weasels. They're so not profitable somehow. Okay. You're 2 or 3 clicks away to change that, but it's not the information. Even if you give these guys the information, they will not use it. They will not process it right. Right doesn't mean that right meaning you have to agree with me. Use the proper function of your brain, okay? Which is logic and certain kind of methods, if you know what I mean, to find what the fuck happened. Anyway, so I don't think much is gonna come out of this. Macron's little jerk, you know, is like a fish. We cut the head of the fish still jerks around a few times, or the chicken. Sorry to give you that. I hope I didn't cause trauma. And but this is what Europe does. You can do. Your head was already cut. It's in garbage thrown over there. And who cut it? United States. You're done, Europe. You've been done for about, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 years. I mean, Germany still has American troops on it, nuclear weapons on it. Whose? Does Germany have anything on US's territory? I strongly doubt that. So, yeah, you get what you are bargaining for, it seems like here. And always United States is far away, pulling the strings from far away, and these guys are right there. And now it's on Ukraine's territory, which, yeah, we support Ukraine. I don't support Ukraine, actually. You support those guys by boomerang like that. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.